And we're live.
That was easy.
Yeah.
All right. Good to
Good to go.
go? Me. Welcome to episode 138. This episode 2, we talk about more video games coming to TV, wonderful news, and it's Anton's birthday week. I'm Al Flores.
Yay. I'm Anton Duong.
Oh, well, did you clap for me or
No,
yourself?
I clap for myself.
All
Yay.
right, Anton. So, just to make sure, you haven't seen your gift yet, right? But you did receive it.
Yeah. Do you want me to do that now or you want to wait a little bit?
Let's just do it now. Do you have
Okay.
it available?
All right, yeah. You want a
All
second.
right.
So,
So,
it's my birthday week. You got me a present. I have no idea what it is.
yes. I'm hoping you don't have this yet. I know you're enough of a fanboy that's a possibility, but I'm willing to take this risk. Did you know that J.J. Abrams co-wrote a book?
Oh.
Oh,
Wow. Okay. Okay, this is okay, this brings back a lot of memories because I was supposed to get this book
but
a long time ago, but I just never got around to it. I totally forgot all about it.
I have
And
been.
being a big JJ fan as I am, I'm kind of shocked that I didn't buy this.
It's
But
something.
wow.
It's been on my Amazon cart for I think since February.
Uh-huh. Oh wow, so it's been that long. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I totally forgot about this because I remember 2013 was like
Mm-hmm.
a long time ago because I
Yes.
remember vaguely because I was doing that puzzle. Remember that
Yeah, little puzzle box, right?
yeah, the little puzzle box that I had, and it just brought
Mhm.
me down like a loophole of like different things, and that was the same year that this book came out. And I think it was during the time also where JJ's office was getting an upgrade. Because, in Santa Monica, they have this building called the National Typewriter Company.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the headquarters of Bad Robot. But not a lot of people know that because when they go there, they just see like, it's a company that makes typewriters or something. And,
Right.
a big fan of like typewriters himself, J.J. Abrams, always wanted to, publish some type of book. And I guess this is one of the first things that he wanted to do with an author, but also do like a book where, that can be like of some type of like adventure where it's interactive.
Yes.
But yeah, this book
So
is
so
freaking awesome. Thank you, dude. I don't have
yes.
this.
And to give them background, 'cause I'm sure the audio listeners are losing their minds right now, like what the hell we're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
So AJ Abrams co-wrote a book with the other author is Doug Durst
Hmm.
called S dot
Yeah.
or S period. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Just
Um,
S, I
it
guess.
yeah, and the idea is totally a J.J. Abrams thing. So there is three layers. The first layer is obviously the book itself, the
Hmm.
story. The second layer is the story behind the author of the quote unquote novel that's written.
Hmm.
And then the third layer is two researchers that are reading through the book and trying to make connections between the author and the book itself. Um, and it's cool because it also includes like little, not puzzles, but I guess like maps and little like auxiliary pieces that come with the book. So that's quote unquote the research of the two people researching the author and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a journey. So and not just a book.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it up on the screen here so you can see. There you go.
Yeah, boom,
Ah.
there you go. Perfect. Yeah, so you see the
Yeah.
little like the decrypter, some
Hmm.
photos,
It's
some
kind of
notes
cool.
on
Like
the
you can
and
go along with it, and then like there's some secrets that you can uncover yourself too. And it looks like there's notes all over the entire book on the side. So there's a
Mhm.
notebook, and then there's the main book itself. So it's kind of cool to have all that. Yeah, this is something that I think all collectors who are into like mysteries and all those crazy things, this is something that I think should go in their library as well. The only thing that I would say about this book is everything that's inside of here needs to be stuck together because there's so many parts in here.
Little pieces.
Yeah, little pieces. So it's kind of cool. Dude, this is awesome. Thank you.
No worries, dude. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, well, actually, one more thing I want to point out too.
Yeah.
The book itself, I love it because it has that worn look to it, so it really looks like
It looks like something
nondescript,
that you would go into your local library, and then
like a resource, like an old resource book, right?
Yeah. Like the labeling on the outside here is one of those like classic book cloth style hardcover.
Yeah, and it even has like the I think the dually decimal sticker or something on the bottom or something.
It says right here 813.54 STR, and it says 1949, but the sticker looks newer. Accurate. I know, but the sticker looks newer than the book. So,
well, I mean that makes sense. But yeah, so it's just a cool concept, and I was like, well, you know what? Ansel's a big JJ fan. This is perfect for him. Oh, okay.
Did you get one for yourself too?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It was in the cart for myself, but I was like trying to think of what to get you. I was like, of course, I've been saving this for forever.
Yeah.
No, and then I think about it. You know, when I saw this, remember the beginning of the year when I told you me and Martha were like picking out books to start reading this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I saw it. I saw it at Barnes & Noble that day. And I was like, that's when I made a note and added it to my Amazon cart. Because I was like, what the hell is this old book? And then I see like, J.J. Abrams? No way.
He does a lot of little things that we don't know. Like him and his son did the Spider-Man comic books. Like side stories and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see
I know. Yeah, I saw it too. I'm curious to see what I think it's like a five-part comic collection or something. That's what it was. But yeah, dude. I'm glad you like it, and it's a nice little addition to your JJ puzzle box collection area.
Awesome. Thank you, dude.
Or is it? All right. Let's see. And there were some updates you mentioned that you wanted to since our last.
Yeah. So since we last recorded, I was able to get the new iPhone. So it's a big upgrade for me. It is a big update for me. I previously had the iPhone 7s Plus. So
I didn't know you were that far behind.
Yeah. I was pretty far behind. So I guess it's 4 generations behind. 11.
So you still had the little button then, huh?
Yeah, dude. I am so. I'm a big fan of that Touch ID. So when I switched over to this one, like that's the thing that I kind of needed to get used to, because the thing is that I'm so used to, holding my finger and I don't have to point the phone directly at my face to get that phone unlocked. And it kind of pisses me off sometimes because like I'm not looking directly at the phone. I'm just having the phone on the table or something, and I'm trying to turn it on, but it just keeps going to that keypad where I have to punch in my passcode.
Yeah. So little behind the scenes here. So if you're watching our YouTube channel and you ever see me fully look off to the side, it's because I'm trying to subtly look at my phone, but I need to unlock it. It's one thing if I'm like this, but it's something if I'm like this.
I think that's something that they have to bring back, because I know that the new iPad Pros on the very top where you turn on the iPad, it has the Touch ID on there. So I wouldn't see why don't they do that on the power button on these,
So I foresee within a generation or two them including the Touch ID in the back. That's my prediction.
If they have it on the back, you can't really have cases on it. Like they have problems with the Pixel before.
No. But I'm saying, the cases have to be designed for the back. But I'm saying something very, I'm gonna put it like a natural way of holding the phone. So when you pick it up, your finger, one of your fingers is always touching the Touch ID. Oh yeah.
So I didn't really say which iPhone I got. There's like 4 that came out, or 3. The one I got is the iPhone 11. Wait, 11? Yeah, 11.
Yeah.
Pro Max. So
Yeah,
it's the maxed out one, except I didn't max it out at the gigs on it.
storage.
I only did
Yeah,
256 on here. Um,
only.
only. But yeah, so far, the things I really like about it is the camera. The camera is friggin'
Oh yeah,
amazing. I love this
yeah.
camera. The only thing I didn't like about it is, yeah, of course, I don't like how I unlock the phone. Um, so the MagSafe on it, this is the first MagSafe thing I got for it. This was sold out. I had to go and check it out a couple times in order to get it.
Hmm.
I got the MagSafe case, the clear one, and dude, I love the color on the new blue on here. The what is it called?
It's very you. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very
yeah, it's
you.
very me. Like I'm doing everything blue this year. Blue car,
Yeah.
blue
I
phone.
mean, I have my red.
Yeah, you
I
got
have my
your
red
red.
anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got this wallet that attaches to the MagSafe too, and I almost didn't want. I was so close to not getting this case and also this wallet. The only reason why is because I saw so many reviews saying that the wallet, when you put your phone in your pocket, it kind of gets loose
Falls off.
and it can fall
Yeah.
off. Yes, but the thing is that you have to you have to be really bad at putting stuff in your pocket.
Or wearing really tight pants.
Even if you're wearing tight pants, it's really hard to get off. Like even if it does move a little bit, it's kind of hard to move it. You have to really force it. So
Hmm.
yeah, I've been using for a week now and I have no problem with it. All these videos, there's only one video that really pointed out that this wasn't a problem,
Hmm.
and that guy was wearing tight jeans too. So yeah.
I don't know. I maybe it's more of that gut feeling, that insecurity, or the not gut feeling, but that feeling you can't shake.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
just
yeah.
something like me trying to run with AirPods.
Hmm.
Like they're fine, they're secure, but I just can't get past like if I start running with these, they're gonna pop off.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Uh,
Yeah.
I really thought that you can run with them too. I think it just depends on what type of ear you have. Sometimes it really sits in there, but other
Ye-
times, other things work better.
I think with the old, well, I mean, with the regular AirPods, it's probably not as secure. But I think with the Pros, they're pretty secure because they go more in your ear because of
Yeah,
the
the
little
original
silicone.
ones, you have the original ones, right? The first generation.
Yeah, I had them. Yeah,
Yeah, those don't fit me at all.
really.
Like I just put them on, they just fall off.
Oh,
Yeah, but the new
uh,
ones, yeah, that totally fits me pretty well. Running wise, over time it will fall off for me, but then if I
mhm.
just put it in, just sitting here, it'll just stay in, and I can shake my head and whatever, it won't come off.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that's good with the Pros. Like you can really adjust the little silicone tips the way
yeah,
to fit
yeah,
you better.
yeah. Okay, so that's
Uh,
pretty much it. I would go more in depth with it, but I mean,
you
there's
still
so many
need it.
reviews on it, so but
Uh,
those
uh,
are just what I thought about
Again, I feel like the marketing is so it's too blatant for the phones though,
it.
because
Yeah.
again they're just showing the iPhone Pro Max and
Hmm.
then the iPhone Mini.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, so there's no in between. You can't say, oh, I have a Mini. Like, it's hard to look masculine saying you have a Mini.
Realistic. Oh, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. This phone, I hate the fact that I have to really reach my thumb to the other side to press on stuff, and other times I'm
Oh,
like, okay, I guess I'll have to use my other hand. I mean,
uh,
yeah, I have to use my other hand, but that's defeating the purpose of having a handheld device is to do everything with one hand.
uh, well, I haven't seen the actual like the iPhone 11 in person, so I
Hmm.
don't know what the size difference is, but
I can only go
uh,
as far as up to here. I can't go to the
oh,
very
oh,
corner.
you mean like diagonally?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I can only go to here.
yeah, it's a stretch. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
stretch.
So realistically, the only reason why I got this phone is because it's got the stabilizer built in it.
Uh-huh.
The regular Pro doesn't have it. Otherwise, I would
Hmm.
have got the regular Pro.
You mean the Mini?
No, no, no. It was the Mini, the Pro, and then the Pro Max. This is the Pro Max.
Oh, okay. I've only the commercials I've seen. It's only the two phones, the Pro Max, and then the Mini. So it literally just shows the Pro Max, and then they spin around, and it's the Mini on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I think the mini came out during the same time as this one. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right. Actually, before we start with our headline news, Anton, I got to tell you a fail that happened right after we finished recording, or the next day.
Okay.
Um, I went to Target, and I can't believe this hasn't happened to me throughout this whole pandemic. But
Okay.
I went to Target, got all my stuff. When I got back in my car, I had my routine is like you know, I sanitize my hands before I start touching anything, and then I take off my mask and then make sure everything's wiped. This time around, I don't know if I was rushing with the hand sanitizer, but I went to go take off my mask and I inhaled nothing but pure alcohol, and it was like, oh, it felt like I took a shot in my lungs.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
was it
Uh,
your hand sanitizer or was it the Target one that they had there?
no, it was mine, but
Okay.
it's like one of the yeah, but it's one of those like brands that doesn't typically make hand sanitizer that make decide to make, so it's like pure alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, oh my god, it took me a second to kind of like, what just happened?
Did it just get high? Yeah.
What did I just snort?
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
I just had to tell you that fail.
Mhm.
All right, let's get on to headline news here.
Okay. Headline news.
All right, the first story we have here is Super Mario Brothers 3 has set a new record.
Mhm.
Anton's prepared. Look at that.
I'm
Uh,
trying.
so a sealed NES copy sold for $156,000. This set the world record for the highest price paid for a video game at auction.
Wow.
My question
That's
is, who
crazy.
had a sealed copy?
It probably
Somebody
just
just
sat
forgot about
there.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably like maybe they bought two on accident. Maybe they got two for Christmas one time. You know, that happens all the time. Like where I got two of the same game, and I'm like, I'm just gonna return the other one, but then you end up forgetting to return the other one. So, yeah,
Yeah, before there was a GameStop to do your video game trade-ins.
yeah.
All right. Next thing here, Darkwing Duck reboot. Disney Plus is in talks to start to bring back Darkwing Duck, which is again this is just yet another '90s cartoon that
Mhm.
dang Anton, you are prepared. Another '90s cartoon that is coming back, making a comeback.
Yeah, kind of exciting to see that because I guess the big success is when they did the what you would call it what is that thing called? Um, they just had it. The
Animaniacs?
DuckTales.
Oh, DuckTales?
DuckTales. Yeah, DuckTales. I think
Oh,
it's
that's true.
success. Yeah, success on that kind of brought them to do other things too.
Which is kind of how they originally came up, wasn't it? DuckTales, then it spun off into like all these like duck shows
Yeah.
in the '90s, and now it's kind of doing the same thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was what, 3 years ago that it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I was a Darkwing Duck fan, but I think mainly because it just looks so much like Batman,
Yeah,
like
it does.
a duck
Hmm.
version of Batman.
Hmm.
All right, more TV news here. Wonder Girl. So CW is in talks to, or is in the process of developing a Wonder Girl series with a Latina lead.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I like the Latin vibe to it. Yeah. Okay.
I mean they're trying to add some diversity, and
Hmm.
since it's CW and it's gonna be a live action, well, I'm assuming a live action show. It's gonna go into whatever's left of the Arrowverse because they really need. It's funny, the Arrowverse expanded so quickly, but then now it's quickly declining.
Hmm.
Um, both because one Arrow left, and then Supergirl is wrapping up her series. So really, from the original show, it's the Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Batgirl, and there's one missing, Black Lightning.
Oh yeah, Black Lightning. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they needed some fresh new stuff too, so I think it makes sense for them to go something a little more bold, something that is part of the well-known forefront of the DC characters. Mm.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, besides Batgirl, I think they lost a lot of heavy hitters with when what you call it, Supergirl left.
Hmm.
All right. Next one. I think you're gonna like this one. The Last of Us series. So
Hmm.
HBO has given series order for The Last of Us.
Hmm. I am pretty excited about that because there's a lot of PlayStation stuff that is being shopped around. Mostly the IPs like Last of Us, which is this one, and Uncharted, which is a movie now that we talked about last
Yeah.
week. And it's very exciting to see that because like these games have won a lot of awards, and it
Mm-hmm.
needs that recognition of being, uh, you know, it needs to be a wider audience because these stories are so rich, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. As big as video games are nowadays, I still think a lot of the value in the stories behind the video games gets lost to people that aren't gamers,
Mhm.
or that get intimidated by trying to play games, to this extent that maybe they're not used to. They're more used to like you know, the Nintendo Switch party games and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
So I mean, similar to what we talked about with Assassin's Creed, like it's a deep story, a lot of rich characters there, and the world is. Again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I love dystopian futures. Um, well, in this case, post-apocalyptic, but there's no zombies, right? It's just,
Mhm.
yeah, it's just
There are
infections.
zombies, but they don't focus on them as much because it's more of a civilization that people are.
What is it? Zombies are
It's
infected.
yeah, the zombies are infected, but the thing is that it's they're there, but it's more of like they're not the messed up part of the story. It's
Oh
the
yeah,
people that's the messed
yeah,
up part of the story. So, yeah, that's basically the dystopian world is where people don't really care about other people. So
hmm
that's why there's like groups, kind of like watching Walking Dead, how they have like those little small towns and little
yeah.
governors and stuff like that. So this is a very similar concept to that, and people lost hope, and all they do now is just live life like every day is their last. Yeah.
YOLO.
Hmm. So yeah, kind of excited to see that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So we talked about J.J. Abrams, but here's another director that we both like, Robert Rodriguez. His newest project, We Can Be Heroes,
Hmm.
uh, which is a sequel to The Shark Boy and Lava Girl, is coming to Netflix on January 1st.
Wow.
And
You know what?
yeah,
I've never seen the movie.
I haven't either. And
Hmm.
it came out, Shark Boy and Lava Girl came out like right after the Spy Kids movies ended.
Hmm.
Like they were kind of like the replacement for it. But I mean, by that point, I was already kind of like, well, that's for babies. I'm too old for that stuff. So I never really checked it out.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, I'm curious because I mean, it's Rob Rodriguez. I mean, he has so much variety under his belt. Like anything from, straight up action gore to, uh, what action with like Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and then the kids movies like the Spy Kids,
Yeah,
which he
Spy
also
Kid
did.
movies. Yep. Hmm.
Yeah. And he knows how to make a good cauliflower crust pizza.
Oh yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing I like about Robert Rodriguez. He really goes the extra mile, making any type of film. He always oh, surprisingly, he is credited for something. I think director credit for The Mandalorian season 2. I just don't know which episode it's for.
I think he did direct. 'Cause that was one of the teasers as they were like uh how was it maybe it was the first season when he revealed that he directed an episode.
Yeah, I don't know which one
But
because I think he co-directed. Because if you look at the list of directors for every single episode, they only put one director for each one, and I know that John Favreau directed 2 of them, so I think one of them probably was half directed by, or probably less than half is directed by Robert Rodriguez. But dude, I am so excited. We'll talk more about it. Um, but yeah, Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, I'm
Great
trying
guy.
to look through stuff. Yeah, so let me just go through some of his movies. El Mariachi, Sin City, Spy Kids, we mentioned that one. Planet Terror. Let's see here. What, the Jetsons, really? Let's see. Alita Battle Angel, forgot about that one. That's one of his recent one. From Dusk Till Dawn. He's directed a lot of like musical stuff, not musical stuff, but like Demi Lovato stuff, Lady Gaga, stuff like that. Like it's weird. I don't know. Again, more variety under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our next story here. Lost my spot. There you go. Wonder Woman 1984 is actually getting released on Christmas Day. It's gonna be available in theaters and HBO Max, but it will be removed from HBO Max after 30 days.
Wow, that's really interesting. So I'm
Yeah,
guessing
this
they're doing that so then they can get people to subscribe to HBO Max, and
yeah,
also at
that's
the
the
same time leave some leeway for people who want to buy it.
yeah,
That's really cool.
that's the leading theory is that this is a subscriber promotion for HBO Max because despite the amount of content they have, their subscriber numbers are fairly low compared to some of the big hitters.
Hmm.
So them releasing what should have been a summer blockbuster for free on their streaming service at the same time as a theater is going to be huge,
Huge.
huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Wonder Woman 1984, like this one had a lot of back and forth rescheduling. It was rescheduled like what, 3, 4 times.
Hmm.
And then finally in December, at one point it got taken off the December calendar, and we were assuming January or maybe
Hmm.
next summer.
Hmm.
And then late Lady Gaga, Gal Gadot and HBO revealed that it's coming to HBO Max in theaters on the 25th.
Hmm. So let's talk about this real quick. So these movies being on streaming platforms, I think
Hmm.
it is the best way to promote the streaming platform itself. But the thing is that I also think it is a very good idea to do this because back in the days, a lot of people pirate movies because there's no way to access the movie
Right.
unless you go to the movie theater. So,
Hmm.
this kind of gives people more of an option to, making things a lot easier for them. Because I think
Yeah.
that's probably the big reason why a lot of people pirated movies is because there wasn't enough places to be able to access the
To watch
movie.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it being available on a streaming service where you can just like do a free trial, or you can just pay like $15 a month or less than that for a service like this. It's a no-brainer. There's so much
Yeah.
content on there. So yeah, that way I think everybody is able to access the movie for cheaper and don't have to pirate.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hmm.
I mean, especially right now when movies, I'm shocked that there wasn't enough backlash like there was when what movie was it that Universal got in trouble for? Trolls. Trolls
Trolls,
World Tour.
yes, yeah, yeah.
That with like AMC threatened to ban Universal movies from its like I haven't seen the backlash for this one yet.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like it's a win-win, and especially in the situation we're in now. I don't know what it would look like in the future. Maybe they'll make it available to kind of like how Hulu does the releases. Like it's available. It's only available to watch the next day after it's aired.
Hmm.
So maybe for like these movies, they can make it available, the week after on the streaming service for a limited amount of time.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because I mean, okay, as streaming services get better and better, the movie theater is not going to be the go-to place. It's going to
Hmm.
be a special event place.
Hmm.
Um, I'm thinking more like sports events. Like anybody can watch for majority of it. You can watch it on your TV at home. You could pay for say the NFL pass or whatever, a red zone pass, whatever, to watch all the games. But there's still a place for you to go to a bar or to go to some other place that has more TVs. It's more of a party feel to it.
Yeah.
So I think there'd be the same thing here with
Mm.
movies. If they make it more of an attraction rather than just a place to go watch movies, um, that will be the future of the movie theaters.
Yeah, I think that is going to be the future of movie theaters because that's the only way I think that it would make sense at this point. You know, like in this time and age, things have to change a certain way to to promote any type of movie or
Hmm.
to the main to the main audience.
And you
So
know us, we can't
yeah.
say no to limited edition stuff that's only available opening
No,
weekend.
no. Yeah, and like I don't know why I would set this as an example, but like back in the days, we would go to like a record store and we would buy like CDs and stuff, and it's kind of
Hmm.
cool because like when you buy these CDs, you get like artwork in there. You open it up, there's a little booklet in there. There's a CD.
Oh, remember when
Um,
they used to do it enhanced CDs?
yeah, those are so cool.
Yeah.
Like you put it in your
In your
CD-ROM or
CD,
whatever.
yeah, your CD-ROM.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you get like music videos that you couldn't download anywhere. The only time you get to see music videos,
Wallpapers.
yeah, the only time you get to see music videos is if you watch MTV or something.
And even
So
then, you only see like 30 seconds of it, anyways.
yeah, and the video of the enhanced CD-ROMs, like they're like so low quality that you're like, I'd
Yeah,
rather watch on TV.
because they're
Yeah.
trying to compress it into something that can only hold like what I think 78 megabytes, or
Yeah.
what it was.
So,
Uh,
um, yeah, the reason why I bring this up is because nowadays, we don't get that anymore. So the weird thing is all of these Korean artists that come out with like their whole album, they also have these like collector's edition albums that are freaking amazing. They're kind of like this book
oh,
here. It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Actually,
Like, yeah, go ahead.
that no, you're right. Because I wonder if it's the same company. Because there was somebody on Shark Tank.
Mm-hmm.
These two women. One was worked in the music industry. One worked in PR
Mm-hmm.
and or PR or publishing, or not PR or promotion. I forget one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
But they came together and they work on like musical, not musical, but like music releases for fans.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So say Linkin Park did a fan album,
Mm-hmm.
it would have like the CD of course, but it would also have like all these other little things in there too, like say a replica of their tickets for the tour for that
Yeah,
album or something
that's
like that.
freaking
Yeah.
awesome. That's something that you would like to have as a keepsake for
Hmm.
these big artists. So
Yeah.
yeah, like the thing is that these K-pop artists, like they don't come out with just an album like that you can buy as a CD
Hmm.
and a booklet. Like they come out with these like full-on box sets. Like for example,
Yep.
like recently, Julie bought a Blackpink album, and in
Hmm.
this is a limited edition where they have like some extra goodies in there, and this is a Target exclusive, which is crazy. Like K-pop has
Yeah.
gotten so far to being so mainstream, and it's being distributed by Interscope. Which we all know
Hmm.
Interscope Records is huge here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, in this box set, you get like some images, some like like they're kind of like Polaroids in there. There's different postcards in there, and then there's like a
Hmm.
photo album. And the crazy thing is like every single box set is different. Like you get some special edition
Small.
trading cards, kind of like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
some people like different idols, so they would probably trade or something. Yeah, so it's kind of cool
yeah,
to
there's more
have something
fan
like that.
interaction.
Mm-hmm.
But see, and also like those little things too, it feeds into the fan community.
Mm-hmm.
It encourages fans to find each other and to fan out.
Yeah. So I think
Or,
that's something that should be given is that like let's say you
Mhm.
go watch a movie at the movie theater. They should
Mhm.
start incorporating these type of things, where you buy the ticket, right? You get a digital download for the movie when it comes out, when it releases.
Mhm.
So, not only did they get a ticket sale, but they got a movie sale at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, it could be something exclusive that they get there and then that they can't get when they go to like Best Buy or something to get the movie. So
Yeah, and I mean they do that now, so, but in limited amounts, like only major, like the I think Black Panther, they did the tin buckets, or I forgot which movie it was. They had like the tin buckets.
yeah.
No, Star Wars, that's what it was.
Hmm.
Stuff like
Yeah, I
that,
have
like
that
stuff like
right
you
up
can only
there, I think. Yep. There.
can't see your
Oh,
tin
there,
bucket,
there, right there. See that? Right there.
that dark blob.
Yeah.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Like so, you can't really get anywhere else. Or Detective Pikachu, they did what Pokemon fans already do, which is the
Pokemon
Pokemon
cards.
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, so I mean, yeah, stuff like that. They need to integrate it more, not just rely on come see this movie. But
Hmm.
speaking of movie theaters, Anton, there's been another major deal made, similar to the deal with AMC. This time, Cinemark has struck a deal with Universal to shorten the theatrical window deal.
Hmm.
To shorten the theatrical window. Uh, Now, Universal has the option to move movies to video on demand after 17 days if the movie has made less than 50 million opening weekend, which is going to be pretty common.
Wow.
Because, I mean, for our movie draft, 50 million, maybe what, half our movies hit that
Hmm.
opening weekend?
Hmm.
So you're going to see a lot of small movies coming out to video on demand 2 weeks afterwards, if this is the case.
That's crazy because like we've never had anything like that before. I still remember like there would be 5, 6 months until like a movie actually comes out on
Hmm.
DVD.
Well,
DVD.
well, it's funny because I figured, Universal had to make this deal with Cinemark because they made it with AMC,
Hmm.
and it sounds good on paper, but in practice, you're gonna piss off the other theaters. So
Oh
say
yeah.
say this deal didn't exist,
Hmm.
and but the one with AMC did exist. If Universal tried to put their stuff on video on demand, but Cinemark was like, whoa, 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 you don't have our okay. What are you doing? So as cool as this is, it's kind of expected. You know what? Next one has to be Regal, or one of the other, like the other major um, theater brand
Hmm.
that they need to make the same deal with, so they don't get any issues down the road.
I think just
What?
Tinseltown is part of Cinemark and stuff. So I think just Cinemark and Regal. Cinemark, Regal, and AMC. Those are the big
AMC.
three. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think before COVID's over, you're gonna see a Regal deal with the same verbiage.
Hmm.
Because once you have those three, the rest of the small theaters just have to fall in line because they have no recourse really. Just
Yeah. Well, Regal
this is
already closed most of their theaters, which is crazy.
well, they closed but not closed
Hmm.
down. But
Yeah.
yeah, and actually I need to plug in my laptop really quick.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
I think AMC right now for my area, they're doing theater rentals for $100, where you can
ye-
pick like certain movies. I think Tenet is also on the list too, and you get to bring a total of 20 people with you.
yeah, I think here it's 150
Oh wow.
to 200. I forgot what it was.
Hmm.
But yeah, same deal. I think it's like up to 15 or up to 20
Yeah,
people. I
dude, I
forgot
would
what it
totally
was.
do that with like close family and friends.
If Yeah, if I had a bigger immediate family, I would.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
that seems like such a good deal. Like
Hmm.
yeah, like I can say, like I know a couple friends that like they're really close to their cousins or whatever, and like that's their social bubble
Hmm.
during COVID.
Hmm.
So I'm like, this would be perfect.
Hmm.
All right, let's see here. In our last headline here, Chaos Walking. So this is a movie that came out of nowhere, at least from my
Okay.
perspective.
It did
It's
not
gonna
come out of nowhere. It was supposed to come out 2 years ago. They had to keep
Yeah.
reshooting this damn movie.
No,
Yeah.
that's the thing though. Like I didn't see anything out of this until like it just came up on an Instagram ad for me.
Hmm.
Again, Instagram, they just know me too well. Uh, well, I'll circle back to that in a bit. So Chaos Walking, it's scheduled to be released on January 22nd, and I didn't put down where it's going to be available. I think Netflix. I need to look that up. Sorry. So it's starring Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland. This was actually filmed in 2017. So they're gonna look a little bit younger than people are used to.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so the story is in a dystopian colony on a planet called New World. Todd Hewitt, Tom Holland, has grown up believing a virus has killed all women and given all living creatures the ability to read each other's minds and hear each other's thoughts in a stream of images, words, and sounds called the noise, which is kind of cool. If you see the trailer, as Tom discovers or finds Daisy's character, his mind is kind of going through a lot of like different random questions and thoughts, and you see them as kind of like holograms or like a projector right in
Yeah.
front of
So
him.
basically, it's like a sci-fi version of what women want.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, I can honestly see this like it's like being very bad in real world.
Yeah.
Damn, that girl's hot. It's private thought.
Yeah. It's like a Homer Simpson. Don't think a sexy thought. Don't think a sexy thought.
Ah,
Ah.
dang, I didn't look it up. I know it's gonna be one of the major streaming services, but I just can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, it's
Apologies for
gonna
the type.
be. Let's see where to stream. Release cinema release date would be January 22nd. I think that's gonna be the first time it's gonna be released in movie theater. So I guess movie theater.
Is it movie theater?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn it was gonna be something else, but I guess not. All right. We'll double check that. But
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. It's going to be streaming on Netflix, but there's no release date for it yet.
for Netflix yet.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's I think January 22nd, but I mean that could, like you said, the theatrical release, but we'll see. But it was one of the streaming services that was promoting it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely down to watch this. I mean, especially with these two that have really shown what they can, what their acting can do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I mean, they probably won't do the other. So this is based on a trilogy book by the same name. But if this is the first to be the first one, and they've, Daisy's done Star Wars, Tom is still in the Marvel universe, might be kind of expensive to make the rest of the movies.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh gosh, and because of being reshot so many times for this movie, I have a feeling that it's gonna be a dud. But
Really?
yeah,
Do you think it's just gonna be like a mixed bag of scenes?
yeah, I think so. I
We'll
mean,
see.
the concept of the movie sounds very very
Interesting.
simple,
Mhm.
but I think the story needed more depth.
Uh, just reading the description, I have some questions. Like,
Hmm.
cool, a virus took out all females. So what are the guys doing? Did it happen recently? Because Tom is not that old in
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes.
Hmm.
All right, Anton. I think that's all our news topics.
Okay.
Let's get into streaming.
All right, let's get into streaming. So the first one.
And yes, and the first story here, our first topic here, Animaniacs Reboot. Have you had a chance to check this out, Anton?
Yes, I got to. I got a chance to see the first episode, and dude, it is hilarious. I can't remember how funny Animaniacs is, and dude, they totally delivered on this first episode. It is so funny.
It's like they did not skip a beat. It's the same humor. If anything,
Hmm.
I think they got more edgy because they're not on broadcast television.
Yeah.
But the voices are on point. The jokes are on par with where they were, if not
Hmm.
better. And I just love like how they just reference themselves. Like there's one episode which I think, since you saw the first one, you didn't see the other ones, where they are talking about, probably Yakko and Wacko are arguing with each other, and Yakko was like, don't worry, Wacko. You know what? We'll all get our turn. I'm all about sharing credit. And Wacko's like, yeah, sure, Mister Songs with all the countries, referencing the video
Yeah,
that went viral.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, and it's funny because I was watching. There's a few Trump jokes, and I'm like, wow, like they really put Trump in there. But I'm like, you know what? In the '90s, they referenced Bill Clinton a lot. They always popped up with a saxophone.
Yeah, yeah, they did. They did do that in this one too, which
Yeah,
is
well,
funny.
just the beginning part, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, they referenced Trump. That and it's funny because it's almost like they can read our minds because as I'm showing my brother the show because they didn't know it already came out. Um, we're talking about pinking the brain and then saying how we wonder what other characters they were going to bring back, and which ones they wouldn't and why they wouldn't do so. And literally the next sketch was them like sitting at the water tower going, wow, it really seems like we're doing a lot of heavy lifting this time around. What's up with that? And they're like, oh, we couldn't get some of our friends to join us, and like they reference like the god pigeons,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Dude, I love the
the
God Pigeons. Those guys are
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, like Mindy, the little girl that like
Yeah, a
kept that,
buttons.
yeah, but yeah, Mindy and Buttons, and it would always
Uh-huh.
call her mom lady. All right,
Yeah.
Mindy, you're gonna be a good girl for mommy, right? Yeah, okay, lady, thank you, bye bye.
Yeah, I miss that, dude. So I'm guessing they're gonna have like new sketches, probably new characters, new segments.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure they'll
yeah.
they'll slowly integrate that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have a 2 season deal. I
Mm-hmm.
I can easily, if money isn't an issue,
Mm-hmm.
I can see that getting extended, and I'm sure once their budget
Yeah, I
gets
like
more
how they
established.
said that they mentioned that they can't be super relevant because each episode takes 8 months to produce.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
just that first song of the entire series,
Mm-hmm.
they even admit, oh, this song's being written in 2017, or no,
Mm-hmm.
2018. We don't know what's happened since then. Oh, let's just make it up. And then there's one point where they reference like how bad things have gotten. And I'm like, oh, if only they knew what 2020 had in mind.
Yeah, it's crazy.
uh,
I
yeah.
wish they can be like Family Guy where they can go last minute with like a week prior to do like a
Last minute
segment at
jokes.
the end of the because like most of the current stuff usually happens at the very end of the episodes for
Uh-huh.
Family Guy. Either
Yeah.
that or they find a spot in the middle of the episode where they can just splice and then just
Yeah.
like zoom in on something. Like for example, there was the I think it was the recording of some type of killing or something, like a murder or something like
Uh-huh.
that. And I think all they did was they just spliced it and then just put like a clip of a recorder playing and then Peter reacting to it.
What the hell? That
Yeah.
yeah. That sounds like Seth actually.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, but one thing that my brother did point out was that they haven't brought back the Wheel of Morality that they
Hmm.
used to play at
Oh,
the end
yeah.
of the original Animaniacs.
Hmm.
Um, and that was purely for FCC compliance.
Hmm. Hmm.
So when you're on broadcast television, you have to have, well, during certain hours, you have to have an educational component,
Hmm.
especially at the time the Animaniacs were on when kids were getting home from school. They wanted the whole kids WB to be educational to some extent, so that's how they would do the Wheel of Morality at the end.
Hmm.
Just bunch of silliness and kookiness, and at the end they're like, oh yeah, yeah, here's your lesson for this episode.
Yeah.
Here we go. Don't fart in a jar.
So the furniture. Yeah, so I think if this is successful, maybe they'll bring back Hysteria, because I guess Hysteria was a pretty big thing too. Um, those little babies that tell you like history.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? You were
Yeah,
thinking hysteria. I was thinking of I was thinking of Freakazoid, like the image of him
Freakazoid.
popped up. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, so far I like it. I like what they're doing. I just hope that they're able to find some way to make it more relevant to current events. But yeah, I freaking love
I,
it. It's hilarious.
again, I think now since their budget is established, I'm sure like the first couple episodes they had to um they didn't get a series, they didn't get a straight to order series or to get the money right away.
Hmm.
So I think as the show goes on, similar to Rick and Morty,
Hmm.
not they really got the orders in and they have the money behind it, they can move faster and kind of work more continuously.
Hmm.
The jokes will get better, but yeah, so far I'm in love with it.
Did you see the Rick and Morty PS5 commercial?
No, I didn't. I don't think I did.
It's really funny. Like it's so stupid. It's kind of like the I don't know if you saw their Pringles commercial.
Yes, I
Yeah, they
did.
also did the Kool-Aid one too, which is funny. But anyways, yeah, it's funny. All right, let's move on.
That was it. It's funny. That's it. Funny. All right. Speaking of HBO Max, well, previously HBO Max, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion was released. Uh, I was a huge Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fan. Anton, were you?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I find it very funny.
Yeah. So the reunion is about, I would say, an hour and a half off the top of my mind.
Hmm.
Um, and I thought it was really well done. It's the entire cast coming together. And they're just sitting around they reconstructed the set, both the kitchen and the living room. They're all just sitting around the living room talking. It's funny because there's parts of it that are pre-set up, like some clips. Like they have like a small projector screen set up for them to watch like some compilations and but the questions or the moderating definitely seemed ad hoc
Hmm.
because they're probably they're all like saying hi to each other. They're like, hey, it's oh my god, I've seen forever, and they all sit down. They're like, so what was your favorite?
Yeah.
But once they got the ball rolling, they really like they brought back some good memories. They gave us the look behind the scenes. Um, I mean, they talked about when they talked about um James Avery, the dad that played Uncle Phil.
Hmm.
Um, I always knew that he was very respected theatrical actor, and just very he took his job very seriously. Um, but they talked to him about as a mentor, and both as an actor, but also as a black role model.
Hmm.
And they gave him a lot of credit for the show being as memorable as it is. Because besides his jokes, besides him helping the other actors find their character or find the scene, um, he was very much like we have a responsibility, like especially in the early '90s, like you know, uh, black actors having this platform doesn't happen,
Hmm. It
and if it
doesn't
does
come
happen,
very often. I mean, there's
it
Family Matters, which is a great show, but
right.
this
But how
one,
much? But how much control did they have over it?
no,
Whereas
it
opposed
didn't.
to this one, where the writers would turn to them,
Hmm.
they would ask them like, is this realistic dialogue? Is this a realistic thing? There's one part where the new Aunt Viv was talking about being in the what's it called in the not the cold read. What's it called? Where they're sitting around the
Oh,
table.
uh,
Table read.
yeah.
Duh.
Hmm. Table read.
They're doing, yeah, they're doing the table read. And she stops. She goes, "No, no, this isn't right." And like, what do you mean? And she turns to the writers like, "We need to change this. If Ashley said this to her parents in real life, she would get smacked across the head. Like, you don't say this to They try so they had to tweak the dialogue to make the kids uh rebellious or kind of bratty, but at the same time not fully disrespectful to parents.
Hmm. Moral
Yes,
lessons. Hmm.
yeah, so stuff like that. So she's like, no, in a black family, this would not fly. Doesn't matter if you're broke or if you're rich. This type of behavior in a black family doesn't fly with parents, or this type of
Hmm.
disrespect doesn't fly in
Hmm.
a family. Um, so stuff like that. So like they really tweaked they tweaked, but they really gave feedback on the scripting,
Hmm.
um, discovering their characters, and it's I don't know. I got to be honest, dude. I got a little choked up when they were talking about him, talking about
So
Uncle
you
Phil.
watched the whole thing already, or?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I only saw the trailer, and looking at the trailer already kind of brings me back, a lot of memories. Like the thing with this cast is they've been together for a very long time,
Yeah,
and
6 years.
yeah, and within that time they did almost everything together.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, so Will goes over the story about how he got the show.
hmm
And he said like he got invited to Quincy Jones' house. So it
hmm
was Quincy Jones's birthday party. He got invited. He got invited. He goes, yeah, sure, I'll go. So why not? Um, he's sitting down, and Quincy kind of like turns to go like, hey, I have an idea for a show, and he pitched him the idea, and he goes like, oh yeah, 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 that's cool. And he goes, where are you from? Philadelphia. All right, cool. So the main character's from Philadelphia, and stuff like that. So, and then he's talking, he's like, yeah, I'm interested. Like I'm not really an actor, but give me some time, and we can talk it out. And he goes, um, would you be good with auditioning? Yeah, I'll audition. And he goes, cool. He yelled at everybody in the room, everybody clear out. We're going to do an audition. And it turns out that there were some NBC executives there also
hmm
that would have like pretty much everybody that would be needed to greenlight the show was there.
So it was an impromptu
It was an
audition.
impromptu thing. And
Wow.
that's when and then Quincy's like, hey, we have everybody here. How much time do you need to prepare right now? And was like, dude, I need an acting coach. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. And he goes, everybody's here, dude. Like it's gonna be harder to find everybody in the same room in this type of like pretty much. I think it was a nice way of saying everybody here's drunk.
They'll say yes to
They're
anything.
in a good mood.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And Will's like, all right, fine, let's do it. Give me 5 minutes, 5 minutes to prepare whatever. Uh, yeah, they that's how the show is. He said like 6 weeks later they were on set, ready to start the shooting the pilot.
That's crazy, dude.
Right?
Yeah, that is
uh,
crazy.
yeah,
That
DJ.
that that tells you like how much power Quincy Jones has, over everything that happens in Hollywood.
Yeah, as a
Um,
creator, yeah.
crazy, crazy, crazy.
I mean, he created Rashida Jones. Come on. Uh,
hmm hmm
um, and that's yeah. Even like DJ Jazzy Jeff, he was like, yeah, I remember we had a weekend off from our tour. Will left, and he came back saying, "I have a show."
Yeah,
He was,
it's kind of
what?
like me looking at my kid. Dude, I have a kid.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like that. Totally.
Well, no, he didn't know. And so like he just came back saying like because he just came back from the party and they all approved the show. So he just came back that following Monday to meet Jazz. He goes, "Dude, I have a show." He's like, "What do you mean you have a show?" He's like, I got an NBC show."
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna put this recording on hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to go too far into it, like because there's again some of the stuff is just so inspirational and so deep. Um, and it was a surprise, but they did go into what really happened with the original Aunt Viv, and it wasn't what a lot. I'm gonna say it was half of what people thought it was, but it was half of what people didn't know what it was. Um, so I won't say exactly what happened, but since they did reveal that the original Aunt Viv makes an appearance, there is a very intense 10 minutes because they haven't seen each other in like 27, 28 years.
hmm
So their first time interacting was on camera, and it was yeah, it's a messed up conversation. Not
hmm
not against each other, but like just what was revealed.
hmm
Um,
That
but yeah,
that's
that
the thing that that kind of brings everything to a close because people were questioning it for a very long time. They got no closure. I mean, people knew what was going on, but the feelings between everybody, they don't
mhm.
know what that
Yeah.
felt like.
Well, and as they're talking, they reveal also that neither of them really knew the other
hmm
person's side.
hmm Yeah.
So it kind of, everybody got on the same page at that point. Him, the original Aunt Viv, I'm blanking on her name now. I don't know
Hmm.
why. And also the audience.
Yeah.
So, highly recommend it. If you're ever been a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fan, this is I love the stories they told and their interactions. Um, and they kind of explain their character development too over time and the reasoning
Hmm.
behind it.
Yeah. All right, dude. Let's move on to The Mandalorian. Okay. We got to see episode 3 and episode 4. So
Yes.
I guess we're going to be talking about spoilers in this episode from this point
Yeah,
on.
yeah. If you haven't been caught up, because really, by the time this comes out, I think episode 3/chapter 11 has been out for 2 weeks now. So
Hmm.
shame
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, skip ahead 10-15 minutes if you haven't caught up with the Mandalorian yet.
Okay.
Uh, so chapter 11, The Heiress. This is one that I was excited to talk to you, and I hated that it happened during our weekend off because this is one that we talked about because we knew Katie Sackhoff was joining the cast, but we didn't know exactly what character. But we speculated that it was Bo-Katan.
Oh, you're skipping the episode 4?
Well, no, episode 3 right now, 3 and then 4.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right.
The Heiress.
Sorry.
The,
Yeah. So
the
yeah,
full
yeah, it's
chapter
kind
4
of
is The
cool.
Heiress.
Yeah. So yeah, you did speculate this that Katie Sackhoff was gonna be Bo-Katan, and what did she show up as? She showed up as Bo-Katan, and I was really skeptical, at first, but when I saw her in character, I'm like, dude, that's Bo. That is
and
freaking awesome.
and it's funny because most of her badass moments happen with her helmet on,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
just the way she carries herself, just her as an actress, she
Mm-hmm.
comes off as a badass.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think she knows that character so well because she
Hmm.
played that character in the series, in the Clone Wars, and,
Yeah.
and as well as the Rebel series.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because I feel like people are over analyzing these episodes more than before. Um, but the first headline that I saw, and I don't know if it was on IGN or Nerdist or something, but they were talking about how uh, Katie Sackhoff's Bo-Katan breaks uh, something, what's it called, a bad habit by the Star Wars universe, and that is that characters that it should be in their 50s or 60s
Mm-hmm.
rapidly age. So like they used Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan. He was supposed to be in his I would say 60s for what it was. Technically he was younger than Luke was in The Last Jedi,
Mm-hmm.
but they made him look way older.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then same thing with, well, like I said, Luke. Luke was supposed to be in his like late 50s, early 60s, but they made him look like he was in his freaking 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But apparently Bo-Katan, who's gonna be in her supposed to be, I think, in her 40s at this point,
Yeah.
it's she comes off as, still relatively young looking, if not, a little bit younger than her age, but still kicking ass.
Yeah. So a lot of people, that I know that haven't watched Rebels and haven't watched any of the other series, so they don't know who Bo-Katan is. So what I tell
Mhm.
them is, she's from Mandalore. She's from kind of like a clan, and the thing is that she is related to uh, Satine, uh,
Which I'm not familiar with.
which you're not familiar with because I think she is known as Senator Satine or something. Something. She's royal. Satine
Hmm.
is Obi-Wan's girlfriend. Uh,
Oh.
yeah, they were supposed to go off with each other. Like he,
Did they introduce her in the Clone Wars?
they
Because
did
I think
they did introduce her in the Clone Wars, and Ahsoka was there too, and so was Anakin. And
Mm-hmm.
Anakin kind of knows that they both like each other. But the thing about Obi-Wan is he's very strong. He's not as
Uh-huh.
weak as Anakin, having Padme.
Mm-hmm.
They had many encounters together, and she always wants him to go off with her, but he's like, no, I have things to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
And she also has a lot of things that she needs to take care of because she's royal. She needs to take care of Mandalore.
Right.
But anyways, this crazy thing happened, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah. But then I guess Bo is kind of like the only person in the clan that has enough influence to lead the rest of the Mandalorians. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what's going on here. Is she was she was the last. I'm gonna spoil this bit here because I mean we're watching this, so we're gonna know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be
Right.
explained in the next couple of episodes. So she was the last person that we know by far that had the black saber. So the person who
So
wields the black saber is the leader for the whole entire Mandalorian.
yeah. Okay. So that might explain why she's kind of chasing the remaining Imperial forces, because she knows that Moff Gideon has the black saber, or suspects that he has the black saber,
Yeah. So
and is trying to get to
so
him.
the history of the black saber where it left off was on Mandalore when the Empire took over. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Maul was trying to take over the Mandalore while everything was happening in the first trilogy. So towards at the
Mm-hmm.
end when all the Jedi's were getting killed, he
Yeah.
was on Mandalore. Ahsoka was on Mandalore. She was on her own mission protecting the people of Mandalore. But little did they know, um, it was Darth Maul that had the dark saber. So he
Mm-hmm.
wielded that for a while, all the way through, I think, the Rebel series. And I think it is one of the characters called Sabine. She was the one that was able to bring that saber back.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
so
Sabine
that's
sounds
where that
familiar.
is. Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. It was just so cool seeing Mandalorians working together.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's
it's just
very cool, dude.
uh
Like watching the series. Okay, I think the Rebel series really focused on the Mandalorians, like the real Mandalorians, because there's so many
yeah.
like different clans. They all believe in
Yeah.
different things, and to see
Well,
all
and
that stuff happen, like all the action, and see it actually happen in this series in live action is beyond
mhm.
crazy. Yeah.
Which and then mentioning the different clans, they kind of touch on it here because um he Mando, uh
He's part of
what's it?
what they call the Dark Watch. These are
Yeah,
the clans that is kind of like
they're
old
more
fashioned.
they're more the orthodox,
Mm-hmm.
because when he meets them, they rescue him and the child. uh they take off their helmets, and right away he said, "Oh, you're not Mandalorians."
Mm-hmm.
And
To
to
me,
that
I'm
point,
like, dude, they're
I know,
Mandalorians.
I know, and Bo was kind of like, uh, "You must be from a different clan." Or like,
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh, you must be using the old ways."
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was it was that part, and then the other thing we find out is just how freaking loyal the remaining Empire is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as the ship is getting taken over, uh, was it I can't remember because it's been 2 weeks now, but was it Moff Gideon that gave the order to destroy the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like so the commander kills his crew and takes over as the pilot and starts nosediving the ship back onto the ground. So it's hold on. My dad apparently thought my brother was here. um, so oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so we see just how freaking loyal their main empires. Like they have to be, because with no leadership really, and the empire is kind of scattered. Any people that are still following, or that are still in line with the empire, they have to be hardcore.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because this is leading to the new order. This is leading up to like Snoke and stuff, which is kind of crazy to see where that's going.
I want to know if they're going to bring in the red tide, if there is any red tide left.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Don. Ready? Oh, actually, before we go to the next one, a quick note. Bryce Dallas Howard directed Chapter 11, which is very. If you remember her, the other episode she directed, which is Sanctuary, she is very good at developing these type of stories where you're discovering the new character and seeing like them bonding and unifying against a common enemy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because, like, you know, her dad being a very famous director, and she's kind of like taking this reign of like being like the next generation of Howard. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy to see that. Yeah, but dude, she did an amazing job, I think, because I think the previous season she was able to direct one episode where it was like a crazy action scene where it was like the village against
the raid, the bounty hunters. The bounty hunters, I forgot what it was.
I think it was like
some raiders.
Some raiders, and yeah, it's crazy to see her be able to have that type of I've never seen her do anything else except acting. So her directing, I think this is pretty cool to see where she's going to go with, you know, in future. I would like to see like a full feature length film from her directing. So yeah.
I wonder if she's done anything with Jurassic Park, but anyways. All right. So the next chapter here, chapter 12. Oops, went to the wrong page. The Siege. So for this one, the Mandalorian goes back to find some old familiar friends, Cara Dune and Grief Karga, which is played by Gina Carano and Carl Weathers. No surprise here, considering how much screen time Carl Weathers has. But he's also the director for this episode, and I think it's his Mandalorian directorial debut.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. He's a legend. I totally respect him doing what he does.
But Arrested Development put an image of him in my head that I can't get rid of.
Hey, he goes. Go ahead.
I said, don't throw away the steak bone. Just it's just some, put this in a boiling pot of water, throw some veggies in there, boom, you got yourself a stew.
See, I go as far back as with him in Rocky,
Yeah.
As Apollo Creed. Yeah. When I told my wife Julie that, she's like, "What? He was Apollo Creed? That's crazy!" And I showed her a picture. She's like, "Whoa, he's." Yeah.
Well, he's also older. Let me see how old he is.
Yeah. He is currently 72.
Yeah, so he was born in 1948. So yeah, but he's leave him alone. He's had his fitness. He's been more fit than we have, so I cannot talk smack against him.
Yeah, true. All right.
Yeah, so for this one, so many pieces here. So since Mando's been gone, Cara Dune has been busy trying to clean up the system. Grief Karga has been trying to not establish control, but stabilize his planet. By fighting off Imperial troopers and making sure he's getting rid of what he calls the villainy and scum.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we have some more adorable Baby Yoda stuff happen here.
Yeah.
Starting off light with the Baby Yoda stuff. He stole a kid's macarons. We assume macarons.
Macarons.
Macarons. And one thing I started seeing is a few bakeries started doing Mandalorian promotion for light blue macarons.
Hey, take advantage of what's out there, dude.
It's funny because I somebody posted on it, and it's literally just light blue macaroons
Mhm.
with the Mandalorian logo on the bottom left of
You
the
know what?
picture. I'm
I'm
like,
gonna go to my
okay.
local macaron shop tomorrow and I get one of those and see uh, if they taste like what maybe you would have seen it. I'm guessing they're blueberry or oh no, they are. I think they're milk flavored because they're
Oh
that
God,
color.
the
Blue
blue
milk.
milk. Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. I didn't make that association.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, we also see another returning character here. Mithril,
Hmm.
was played by Horatio Sands, which I don't. Was he played by Horatio the first time around?
Yeah.
I did not recognize him. And the funny thing is, after I learned who it was, I was like, it's obvious. Like, yeah, he has prosthetics, but it's not that many prosthetics on his face.
Yeah. It's not. It's just
Yeah.
what was it? The glasses,
Huh? No, he has the little like
goggles.
the no, well yeah, goggles, but I think
Yeah.
like the little like catfish whiskers kind of thing, whatever, or gills, I don't know what it
Oh,
was.
oh, oh, yeah, yeah. My bad. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice him that like that before because I guess blue makeup and stuff kind of makes him look different. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, after I realized who it was, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is his humor. Okay, yeah, it's him. So we start to learn more about well, we get a little teaser of what they've been doing with the 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 child's blood
Hmm.
or his DNA, which is some weird mutation kind of creature. I don't know what the hell they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to do hybrids.
Just for me looking at it, I think it kind of looks like they're creating like some type of like clones that may be leading to like Snoke or something, and maybe this is how
Like,
Palpatine was being reanimated.
oh, that's true.
Hmm.
Especially, well, maybe that's what that it is though. It's because they're trying to infuse whatever. I don't want to say it, but
Hey, they
it's
did
the
mention
best way.
it in this thing. Like, that lab guy was saying that in the hologram, he said, we need something that has more M count. And the M count
Oh,
stands
that's
for midichlorians.
midichlorians. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes sense though. If you are a strong force user
Hmm. Force
and
sensitive. Yeah.
yeah, force sensitive, and you're trying to develop a clone body, there's no guarantee that your clone body will have that same connection with the force.
Hmm.
So yeah, you have to make a compatible body.
Hmm.
Make sure you have the right the up to date USB connections. You can't be trying to connect
You gotta have
USB-C to
USB C.
the
Hmm.
yeah. You can't have the old USB 1.1 or
No.
1.0.
I like how you make that reference to cloning. That totally works.
um yeah, so yeah, you know what? I didn't think about it, but that makes sense that this
Hmm.
could be connecting to what we end up seeing in The Last Jedi with Palpatine.
It's crazy how this is leading up to like some type of connection, and I think that's the cool thing about the difference between like the actual movie series and then like the TV shows and the books and everything. They start to connect everything and make everything richer, like the whole entire lore of it. It has more
They they
meaning.
they're fixing their mistakes because that is one
Actually, yeah,
criticism that
yes, I totally agree.
fixing their
It's the
mistakes.
plot holes that they can't fill in that people keep asking questions. They're like, that doesn't make any sense. And
Well,
they're like, well,
that's what
hold up.
Rogue One did.
Yeah.
It fixed the plot hole for A New Hope.
Yeah, but it made it so much richer too, which is
It did.
crazy.
It
Yeah.
did. It
Hmm.
added value because you're like, holy crap. The answer was obvious, but it was obvious because those people sacrificed so much to
Yeah.
get those plans.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, because that was one of the comments or criticisms
Hmm.
was, okay, you mean to tell me that again, spoiler alert for Last Jedi, uh, but you mean to tell me that somehow that the Emperor has had a cloning facility that nobody's ever heard of and that never been mentioned before,
Hmm.
and that's the twist? Like there was no foreshadowing to it. There was no mention of it ever before, but now they're going retroactively and they're introducing the work that led up to it, which is this takes place 30, 40 years before The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree. That's it's all coming together, Anton.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
All right,
and
dude.
then okay, as I mentioned last one,
Mm-hmm.
people are over analyzing the stuff that comes out or the actions of the child. And for this one, there was there was an article I started seeing. I didn't click on it because I thought it was just stupid to begin with. Um, the headline was, "What is the Mandalorian trying to teach parents and children?" When this episode of the Mandalorian where the child steals another kid's macaroons. I was like, it's a show, and it's a small part. Like he's a toddler. Like
Yeah.
he's
The thing is that
uh,
they don't know how old he is either. So
aren't
technically,
they?
like he's still like he's. I think they said he's 75 years old.
Yeah, I remember it was like 60, 70, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Um, and Yoda died at 900 something.
Mm-hmm.
So
So he's probably I'd
may,
say 1.5.
early toddler years,
Yeah,
yeah,
early
because
toddler
he's
years.
walking
Yeah.
around. He's
Yeah.
able to walk around. It
Yeah.
just has very little, and we don't know what the development for his race is. We just know that they age at a different rate than we do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Anton. All right, that's all I had for the
Oh,
Mandalorian so
one more
far.
thing.
What's up?
He's been into like 2 episodes already, but the guy that is the dad in Kim's Convenience, he's the
Oh yeah, yeah, some again.
yeah,
The yeah,
he's the
Blue.
pilot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Blue.
they called him Blue. I'm guessing he's part of the Blue Squadron.
Yeah,
Um,
kind of cool to see
and
it.
again,
That's awesome.
I'm happy that they're showing that the rebellion is actually trying to maintain order.
Mm-hmm.
They're very disorganized, but they're building.
Mm-hmm. They're doing
You
what
know,
they can. Yeah.
they're doing what they can. They're like, and that's why they try to recruit, Kara and all that stuff like that. But yeah. So we'll talk more about next episode about chapter 13 and probably 14,
Mm-hmm.
depending on our
I
schedule.
hope they keep Cara Dune. I kind of like that character, but the only thing is that she has some controversial stuff going on right now on the side.
Oh,
Yeah.
because she's people are calling her out because she is supporting Trump when it comes to the whole ballot thing or whatever.
I don't know. Maybe I just
I think
heard
that's
that
what it was.
she's saying a lot of things that she's not supposed to say. But yeah, I just hope that she doesn't go
People
for
only get
that.
mad when people. There's the thing though. They're still just actors. Like they're
Yeah,
like they have no political knowledge beyond that of a normal person. They have the same information we do.
yeah,
They just have a platform to talk louder.
exactly. All right, dude.
And yeah,
Let's not do
I'll
politics. I should
I'm
have
just
got
saying.
it.
I'm just saying. I think it's stupid when people try to cancel when like it's fine when they're saying what they want to hear, but when they start saying something like, "Oh, you don't believe what I believe," anyways.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right. Yeah, that's all I had for that one.
Okay, let's get to our last segment here. Let's get into gaming.
Sweet.
All right, Alan.
All
So
right.
I know that you have still been playing Pokemon Go. What's new with Pokemon Go?
Oh, like I said, I've still been playing. Yes, I've been playing. Uh, so Niantic the Niantic being the developer of Pokemon Go, uh, has been testing some new updates, and new ways of playing, especially because of COVID. It's forced them to try to get a little experimental with like certain perks. So say your incense that usually are used to attract Pokemon, they last twice as long and they're more effective. They've introduced remote raids, so instead of a traditional raid pass, you can also get a remote raid pass, which allows you to reach a raid or gym that's further away from you than you know than normal.
Hmm.
Or your friends can now invite you to raids. So if I'm doing a raid here in Westminster, I can send you an invite and you can join me at the raid here.
So kind of like the how they do it in the actual game, like
Yes,
what is
yeah,
it?
the Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Sword and Shield. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
kind of cool. That's
Yeah,
very cool.
so they've introduced that. The latest thing they've been playing around with is the trading distance.
Hmm.
So I thought this was especially useful because I am a Pokemon hoarder, which means I will hold on to specific types of Pokemon. So usually ones that are hard to find,
Okay,
Or
let me ask this question. How big is
yeah,
your bag now?
well, that sounds like a personal question. That's all. 2100.
Dude, I still remember when the maximum was like 200.
Yeah, 200. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. That's the nice thing too is that you get gold coins for holding a gym longer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was that? Oh, so like me and my friends from my office would occasionally trade them
Mm-hmm.
because it was there's a chance that your Pokemon can turn lucky, and if it's a and when that means is that its stats get automatically boosted, and it gives you a better chance of getting a perfect Pokemon.
Perfect
Uh,
IV Pokemon.
yeah, yeah, individual values.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know the game, it's measured in three categories: attack, defense, and stamina.
Mm-hmm.
So if all those stats are maxed out, it is a perfect Pokemon. Uh, but with COVID hit, that kind of ruined the trading. So I couldn't see my coworkers or my friends. So uh, lately, I think 2 weeks ago, they did a test that you can trade with somebody as long as they were within, I think the test range was 5 to 10 kilometers,
Oh wow. So you
which
can
which
drive
pissed
close to each other, but
well it pissed me off because it was literally like
at the border.
yeah, right at the edge. Like I could touch John Wayne Airport, but I couldn't
Uh-huh.
get. But they did another one this week, and they extended it. They just extended it today, up to 30 to 50 kilometers, which
Wow.
is pretty much all of Orange County. You can pretty much
Mm-hmm.
trade with anybody in Orange County from the comfort of your home.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I hope they keep it, but it has been very, very fun
Mm-hmm.
going on the different Pokemon discords and just coordinating trades.
Yeah. Well, I do like that. That makes it a lot easier. But I do like the fact that you have to meet up in order to trade in the past. I
Hmm.
do wish that they have like a Pokemon Center that you can go to where you can like hook up to the PC. Um, but that's
Just
more
put
of
an
like what's
offer
in the game.
just put like an offer.
Yeah,
I have a Rylu looking for I don't know
yeah,
a Gibble, something like that.
yeah,
Just automatic tries to find you. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that'd be nice. But
Hmm.
I mean, for now, I'm happy with the distance trading. Um, so yeah, I've been clearing out some of my space.
Hmm.
All right, Anton. Moving on here. So PS5 launched 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, last week.
A week
Like
and a
no, it's a
half.
blur.
A week and a half.
Yeah. So PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan, which has said everything is sold. Absolutely, absolutely everything is sold. I'm spending a lot more time trying to increase supply to meet the demand. He's saying like they're not hoarding them. They really just don't have any more PlayStations.
Hmm. But they have
Like whatever.
I think they just recently did a second batch of orders that you can order, but that's all they had.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
what he's saying. Like they are all sold out. Like it says yeah, it says PS5 units are completely sold through the retailers. Like it's done. Like whatever retailers have, like that's all they have for now.
Hmm. And I heard that they will have more before the holidays, but they're not putting out any date. But
Yeah,
that's
which
all they have.
which oh my god, dude. Like it is how bad is the secondary market going to be for this?
I
If
don't
if
know.
they
Yeah.
it's because or what? How much is the price point that we said for 500, 400
I think it's $399.
for 400?
Yeah.
These are going to be going for 1,000
Yeah.
at least. Oh, that sucks.
I did see pictures of people with like 40 of them in their house.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. People knew there was gonna be a shortage, so they bought from different sources at once.
Hmm.
Whoop.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Oh, but by the way, I had a dream about that. I dreamt that I bought a PlayStation, Anton,
Hmm.
and they had more behind the counter, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll buy two.
Hey,
My second
Xbox is
thought was,
sold out too, though, right? I mean,
I'm assuming, yeah. I mean, they're gonna
yeah.
be at the same par, but this is just it was a headline because there was a CEO coming out saying
Yeah.
that's all we have.
It's funny because this morning I read up on somebody on Reddit and they said they went into a GameStop and they're like, Usually when you want to buy any system right now, none of the stores have it. So he randomly walked into like a GameStop and said, "Hey, stupid question, but do you have any Xbox Series X?" And the guy behind the counter was like, "Here you go." He's like, "Sure, I'll take it." and then, and then he's like, "Oh man, I am $500 poor."
Okay, okay. So I see the secondary market as a bad thing for PlayStation right now because it's putting a bad taste in people's mouths.
Yeah.
However, if I did have if I had two of the game consoles, you better believe I'm going to resell one to make up for mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell one for twice the price so I get my money back on the one I'm keeping.
Yeah.
No shame. Capitalism
No
at its
shame.
finest.
No shame. No shame in that at all. I think it's just, I mean, yes and no.
Look, the goal for any company right now is to make sure that the secondary market gets screwed over in this case.
Yeah.
So for those people that you said that has 40 consoles, the goal of PlayStation should be to put consoles out there fast enough to where those people that bought the 40 consoles pretty much have to sell it back at cost, or at the retail price or at cost.
Yeah. It's crazy because I think what PlayStation did to meet that date was they flew those consoles over. And flying consoles cost more money than, having things go on a ship.
Put them on a boat.
Yeah. So for them to do that and make that date is still unbelievable for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Anton. And since we spoke about this last episode, Cyberpunk 2077, there was a leak, a confirmed leak that happened where a final version of Cyberpunk 27 gameplay has appeared. There was about 20-minute live stream on one of the streaming services showing the gameplay, the characters. I don't know how much this impacts the game. I haven't seen the 20 minutes, but people are kind of the articles I'm seeing is kind of like this is like the S hit the fan.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, I'm like, I'm seeing this as a teaser. I'm seeing this as promotion.
Yeah, I see it as promotion too. I don't think it would, if you don't want to be spoiled, just don't watch it. That's the whole point of it. Like, it leaks. Like whoever wants to see it. But yes, that guy shouldn't have leaked it. But if he leaked it, I guess it's more publicity for them.
Oh, and I bet you that Microsoft, PlayStation, and then developers, they're looking for the person that has this, because even though the 20 minutes might not have spoiled the story itself or like a major part, if they're playing through it and they try to reveal the ending or like the key parts of the story, then that'll be bad for the game, because then now you have one source leaking out the entire story, as opposed to kind of all.
There's no way that person can finish the game though. From what I heard, this is a very long game.
Well, and that's what I'm saying though. Right now, the goal for PlayStation, Xbox, and the developers is to
get that far. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So for me, reading some articles this morning, I think some people have copies of it already, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's not just one person. Yeah.
Well, no. It was one source that leaked the 20-minute live stream.
Wow.
But yeah, that's what the article was saying, that there is, beware that there are physical copies of Cyberpunk 27 out in the wild.
Yeah. Okay.
Which actually, this one says that the release date for Cyberpunk 2077 is December 10th.
Yes, that's like in another 2 weeks.
I thought they moved this to Q1.
No,
2021.
No. It was supposed to release in November.
Right,
and
right.
They pushed it an extra month. They said 30 days doesn't hurt.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Halo then. Well, there you go. Now I know. All right, Anton. If people want to maintain us from getting pushed to Q1 of 2021, how can I do that?
They can do that by going to our website and supporting us by buying something from our store, maybe a T-shirt, hat, sticker, and if there was something that we talked about on the show, or on our show notes, or social media, there should be a link that takes, well, the user, the audio listener, to Amazon.com, and it gives us a little kickback when something is purchased.
And you can also follow us on social media at the 2OC on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can send us an email to mail@the2oc.com, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up or 5 stars, whatever the rating system is on the podcatcher app you are listening to us on, but especially Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. Today's podcast is also brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/the2oc. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from, and you can use it on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Starting tonight, let's see here. In about another hour, I can probably start listening. I can probably start listening to Ready Player 2. So I highly recommend Audible trial for that. And then if you're interested, I just finally finished J.K. Rowling's book, Robert Galbraith, aka. Dude, this last book was pretty amazing. I think even though she had all that controversial thing that was going on, I think this is probably one of her best books yet. So I'm just excited for the next one.
Yeah, I'm assuming that if her book ever gets made into a movie, they're going to tweak the background or some of the details of the character. But
they have already. You can watch the show.
Did they?
Yeah, they have a mini series for each book. Nice. And I think they're on they just finished the last book. They start shooting the next book, I think, in the spring. So it comes out in next October.
Okay.
Yeah. So highly recommend it, dude. It's freaking amazing. Really good.
Yeah. I totally forgot that the Ready Player 2 came out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. So I'm getting the book tomorrow, but I kind of, want to listen.
You want to get a head start? Yeah. But I didn't know until, or I didn't remember until I got the notification this morning that my book has shipped. I was like, sweet. Yeah. So Ready Player 2, that is definitely going to be on my reading list, and I need to get back on my reading routine. I've been kind of slacking on both my workouts and reading the last month.
Wow.
So I need to get back on it.
Okay, I think that's it. Let's wrap it up, dude.
All right, Anton. So for the 2OC, I'm Al Flores.
And I'm Anton Duong. See you guys.